Land subsidence, cracks in houses, water oozing out of the cracks. Is this the sign of some impending disaster of sorts? Vikrant Tiwari, CEO, growtrees.com, and Dr. Kali Chand Sen, Director, Wadia Institute of Himalayan Geology, join us. Dr. Wadia, I'll pose that question to you. With what you are seeing in terms of the land subsidence, in terms of the cracks that are coming through, clearly the residents extremely alarmed. What is it the sign of?
Hello.
Can you hear me, Dr. Wadia? Can you hear me, Dr. Sen? Can you hear me, Dr. Sen?
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead, Dr. Sen. My question, sir, with what we are witnessing right now in Joshimath, is it the sign of a possible impending disaster? Because that is what the residents fear.
Yes, what we have been observing, maybe this is a precursor of some sort of landslide into that region, and for that we need to comprehend what are the main causes behind this, and what are the remedial measures we can provide so that before that hazard takes place, we can take some sort of precautionary measures.
So you are raising a red flag, Dr. Sen?
Yeah, because what we have been observing, that cracks are enhancing, and subsidence is also taking place, and satellite images into this region have shown that some of the rivers down the Joshimath area are expanding their channels in an attempt to drain down the entire slope. So we do not know when exactly that particular incident in terms of landslide takes place, but we are seeing that something in future will take place.
Vikrant Tiwari, I try not to be, we as a channel try not to be alarmist about situations, but there is a sense of deep alarm that even Dr. Sen is raising here. We can see it mirrored by the residents of Joshimath, who many are actively by the local authorities being asked to flee Joshimath, some of them rehabilitated. But what is it? This clearly seems that their fears are not unfounded.
Actually,
Hello.
Can you hear me, Mr. Tiwari? If you can shut off the volume, you'll be able to hear us, sir. Go ahead.
I can hear you now properly.
So the question is the kind of alarm that Dr. Sen is raising. We don't want to be alarmist, but it is being mirrored by the residents of Joshimath. How do you read the current context of what Joshimath is witnessing right now?
See, currently, if you see, there are experts from IIT Roorkee and others are conducting their studies on the current situation and reason behind that. But we must also acknowledge that a similar inspection has also been done in the past, and that suggested that several pockets of Joshimath are sinking due to man-made and natural factors. And if we also focus on man-made, we just take, say, example, man-made issues, then Joshimath's attraction for pilgrims and tourists has led to the city expanding exponentially over the years, leading to the constructions of buildings, roadways, and other infrastructural developments like tunnel, which has not been done as per the Mishra Commission's report. And if you just see that, even in Mishra Commission's report, it talks about very clearly 3 points, and that is not now, in 1976. And
okay, we seem to have a problem with your link. I want to cut across back to Dr. Sen. Dr. Sen, so I would think it's correct then to actually subscribe to the views of the local residents, because they are raising the red flag that this is impending doom, and with what you are stating, with what we are now putting together, Joshimath is actually sitting on a powder keg.
You see that, as Dr. Tiwari has rightly pointed out, this Joshimath is developed over a past landslide region, over a debris covered regions, and that has been reported in 1976. Even if we look into one of the Himalayan gazetteer by Atkins in 1886, where it has been reported that Joshimath is on the dilapidated conditions of some of the temples.
Okay.
So we can understand that because it is also into the tectonically active
You know,
zone.
I'll just quickly ask the both of you, I'm running out of time, how responsible are the various hydroelectric project tunnels? There is one right now in Joshimath which is actively being developed. Then there is the entire rail project. Are any of these responsible for what we are witnessing?
Of course, you can't deny this because, and especially, you know, if you just go through the Mishra Committee's three main points, you know, the first point itself says that further construction in the area should be made only after examining the stability of the site, and restrictions should be placed on excavation on slopes. Okay, and then another part, which is my favorite point, that is, it has mentioned that no boulders should be removed either by digging or blasting, and no trees should be cut. I repeat, no trees should be cut on the landslide zone. Extensive plantation work was recommended between, you know, Marwari and Joshimath.
Right. Well, that's the sad part because, you know, there is the Tapovan Vishnugad hydroelectric project which many environmentalists had raised the red flag about. And clearly now what we are witnessing, all of that could just be coming together because one thing, viewers, once again I would say, we at India Today don't really want to be alarmist. I don't like doing that. But all the experts on the show tonight have raised an alarm with what is the fate, possible fate of Joshimath, an impending disaster. Well, we don't quite know. We hope it doesn't happen, but one needs to take immediate measures. And the alarm raised by the local residents is understood.